Hello, and thank you for joining us for this special half-hour edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Tamara Brown.
And I'm Jacob Emmert. For the next 30 minutes, we will bring you stories making headlines at Virginia Tech and in the New River Valley. In the first half of our newscast, we will look at stories specifically related to Virginia Tech's campus and community.
And later in the show, we turn our attention to news around the New River Valley area, such as an update about the controversial pipeline issue, reactions about the new school start time coming from Montgomery County Public Schools, and a look inside a 100-year-old country store that's still thriving today. But first, to top off our Virginia Tech stories, a follow-up about the former editor of the Collegiate Times, who has recently dismissed from her duties. After firing Erica Corder, EMCVT sent out a press release in regards to the 6 complaints filed against her. EMCVT's press release stated that they have received a media request for the complaints about Corder, and they will not be releasing them. Corder was advised to respond, and she did so with a formal letter. Corder explains what she plans to do moving forward.
I'm going to write. I don't know where I'm going to be doing that writing yet. I have some ideas, but nothing solid yet. But mostly I want to focus on my academics at this point and just graduate. And I might be graduating early, so I just want to focus on that and see where it takes me. So.
EMCVT held a meeting on May 1st and discussed the company's financial spiral and the future of the company. However, the board denied Corder's request listed in her letter. Corder declined to give information about what she requested from EMCVT, but she did say she wants her name cleared.
It has been 8 years since Virginia Tech's April 16th shooting, but recently the Hokie community faced its first threat, implying the day might come soon again. Newsfeed reporter Jojo Dominic has more on the story.
Even though it's been 8 years since a tragic shooting on the campus of Virginia Tech, its effects are still rooted deeply in the hearts of Hokies. Recently, an individual posted an anonymous threat on a social media website known as Yik Yak. The site contains anonymous posts that are viewable based on your geographical location, but all of their content is unknown.
The thing that was scary about this one is anytime it's a Yik Yak post, you know that there's a geographical fence up. So you know the post came within about a mile and a half if you got it here. So that meant it came from inside here. So we're kind of used to taking threats from foreign countries, and there's lots of other weird things you get as soon as you've had a significant event. But this one hit a little closer to home because it was right inside.
The alarming post was made stating, "Another 416 moment is going to happen tomorrow. Just a warning." The post sent chills through the campus and community, and a report was filed immediately with the local police. The Virginia Tech and Blacksburg Police Department linked up and began an investigation after they were alerted about the post. Blacksburg Police Department's Chief Anthony Wilson talks about how so-called anonymous posts are always traceable.
Anything anonymous on the internet is not truly anonymous. There's an electronic signature of some kind, and the companies that sell these kind of applications, they are very responsible for the most part, and they will throw you under the bus the second they get one.
Many students are unaware of what anonymous really means. Although posts made on Yik Yak are not viewable in depth to the user's posting, investigations taken under the police discretion can identify any guilty parties. Senior psychology major Mia Chernick voices her opinion on why she thinks students feel it is okay to make threats like this.
In terms of why they might be motivated to do that, it's really all about how they're raised is what we think as psychology majors. You always hear nature versus nurture. But a big aspect of that, if someone is going to have the drive to want to say something like that, they're obviously have something wrong going on in their mind.
After the case was investigated jointly by both police departments, an arrest was made. Ki-Young Moon, a 21-year-old senior majoring in business information technology, turned himself in the following afternoon and was charged with harassment by computer.
32 people were killed at the university on April 16, 2007 in what was considered at the time to be the worst campus mass shooting. This case is another example of how well the Blacksburg Police and Virginia Tech Police Department work together to ensure the safety and security of our community. Investigators not only developed the evidence, but they followed it to where it led and made an arrest. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Jonna Dominic.
For more information on computer safety, you can visit the Blacksburg Police website at blacksburg.gov/police.
Looking out for one another and lending a helping hand is prevalent at Virginia Tech as well as the surrounding communities in the New River Valley. This is the credo of the new No Hokie Left Behind initiative. News reporter Dwayne Alford tells us how No Hokie Left Behind has progressed since its inception.
Blacksburg police officers Anthony Wilson and Kevin Foss have exemplified Virginia Tech's motto, Ut Prosum, which means that I may serve through their establishment of their No Hokie Left Behind program. The two officers are recipients of the Alfred C. Payne Award given to individuals who have performed exceptional service to the greater Blacksburg community. The program's simple yet effective message, go with friends, stay with friends, and leave with friends, encourages students to practice safety while they're out and about, especially during weekend nights.
What have we prevented by the campaign? Hard to say, but at the very least, if we can get awareness out there of the importance of, we are a family here, let's just all look out for each other, like any family would.
Both Virginia Tech and the Blacksburg Police Departments are hoping to hand off the program to students in the near future.
That was Dwayne Alford reporting. If you would like more information about the campaign, visit the No Hokie Left Behind Facebook page.
In January 2015, the Virginia Tech Language and Culture Institute began a new program in response to President Timothy Sands' call for greater diversity on campus.
Newsfeed reporter Taylor Thiesing joins us from the newsroom to tell us more about this new program. Taylor?
Thanks, guys. The Intensive English Language Program for International Spouses provides instruction in English, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. The program promotes inclusion on the Virginia Tech campus. Many graduate students bring their spouses to the area, and those spouses do not receive many educational resources. The program serves their interests and expands their education while here, and in turn, the students help the LCI.
Students are quite motivated, and they tend to be more mature, and also it adds a great deal to the diversity within our program. So it's a great help to us in that way as well.
Classes are held Monday through Friday in fall, spring, and summer terms. In Danita Moore's class, students work on sentence structure and grammar. International spouses are intermixed in classes with other students from the LCI. However, the price of classes is lower for spouses in order to meet their financial needs. Right now, there are 35 students participating in the program. The program is open to Virginia Tech faculty members, undergraduate and graduate students, visiting scholars, and researchers. For more information, contact Elizabeth Lohr or to register for classes. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Taylor. In other news, just 2 years ago, Virginia Tech's sustainability efforts helped bring milk that was produced on campus to the dining halls.
But with the new relocation process underway, campus-born dairy will soon be an impossibility. When this dairy science complex moves off campus this summer, a 53-year history of campus-cared cows will come to an end. A combination of factors brought the 600 acres on which the complex currently sits into high demand, effectively forcing the Dairy Science Department into a change of scenery. The 400-plus cows that call Virginia Tech's campus home will soon be moved to Kentland Farms, about 10 miles west of Blacksburg. Kentland Farm is owned and operated by the university. Dr. Robert James, a professor in the Dairy Science Department and the primary faculty contact for the relocation, says the move will hinder some of the department's academics.
It's going to have an impact on teaching. And now you say, well, you got to haul animals up. So now we need a truck and a trailer, and it's going to take people away from their duties at the farm to bring them up onto campus. So yeah, it's inconveniencing us.
But James also recognizes some of the positives of the move. The $13 million project will give the department 6 improved facilities and more control over cow comfort, something he says is highly valued in dairy sciences. The Kentland Farm site was originally scheduled to be completed by mid-February, but bad weather has delayed the construction of its facilities. The Dairy Science Department will be fully operational out of its new complex sometime this summer. Typically at the end of a semester, college students feel the pressure of final exams and projects. But there's one group of students who literally eat, sleep, and breathe their finals. More about that just ahead.
And student employees play an important role in the daily function and routine of a college campus. After this break, we'll see how Virginia Tech shows its appreciation to let their student employees know how much they're valued. Stay with us.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow!
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to this special half-hour edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Jacob Emmert along with Tamara Brown. Virginia Tech dining consistently ranks in the top 5 nationally in college campuses.
But this high ranking may not be possible without the dedication of student employees. Newsfeed reporter Katrina Spinner-Wilson has more on this report.
Each year, Dining Services holds an event to honor the hard work of student employees. In addition to schoolwork and extracurricular activities, student employees work an average of 12 hours every week, while student managers typically work 20 or more hours a week.
Students are absolutely crucial to Dining Services. So, vast majority of the employees are students. As a manager at one of the Dining Services, I see people working as hard as they can all the time, and it's almost exclusively students.
Full-time dining employees not only value the time and effort of student employees, but are also great about working with students over their hectic schedules.
Integral part of that success has been our student employees, which total almost 1,350 students. They literally are 70% of our staff. We serve over 40,000 meals every day on this campus, and 70% of that workforce, being the students, is what keeps us at the top of our game.
This is Katrina Spinner-Wilson reporting for the Newsfeed.
Virginia Tech as a whole is known for being a university that challenges its students and encourages them to invent the future. However, students of the College of Architecture and Urban Studies are being pushed to their limits. The School of Architecture and Student Design hosts challenging and time-consuming majors. Architecture students are obligated to spend long, strenuous hours in the studio working on their projects, which can be difficult and quite messy. But has the pressure to succeed become too much, as some architecture students are found sleeping or even living in their studios?
I've known about students who I'm almost certain live here, like they don't have another home. It's not common, but again, when I was program chair, the housekeeping staff would tell me, you know, I suspect that the guy who sits there is actually sleeping here. Okay. It's nothing I can do about it, and it's pretty normal. Our building's open 24/7, 365.
Despite the unusual circumstances and time constraints, Professor Ehrman went on to explain that sleeping in studios is very common for architecture students at all universities, and that the time spent in the studio actually becomes quite social. The Virginia Tech School of Arts students experience many challenges as well, in particular, their search for a job after graduation. The art program is very interactive and offers many opportunities for students to develop as artists. The students have individual shows as seniors and come together to showcase their work in a gallery. Rachel Scott, a senior studio art major, says she hopes to have a career in art and has considered designing window displays or art therapy as possible jobs.
Ideally, I want to have my own studio practice. I want to be able to show in galleries, and I don't want to be like stereotypical famous artist, but I want to make a career out of making my own art.
Many art students will look for job opportunities in major cities, such as New York or Los Angeles. Students may start after work after graduation as art assistants, working in galleries, or by going to grad school. Well, that wraps up our look at some of the stories making news in the tech community. Stick around, there's more ahead.
Coming up, a look at some top stories in the New River Valley. Our Newsfeed reporters, CJ Fiala and Molly Piffith, are standing by in the newsroom, and they will take you through the second half of this newscast. Molly and CJ?
Thanks, Tamara and Jacob. That's right, we'll be switching gears, turning our focus to the New River Valley area.
That's right, Molly. Some interesting stories coming up for you guys. First off, an update on the controversial Mountain Valley Pipeline Plan, plus new information surrounding the closing of part of a popular outdoor hiking trail, and a special feature story covered by you, Molly.
That's right, CJ. It's actually a great story about a local country store that's managed to stay in business for over a century. So stay with us because we'll be right back after this short break.
all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hello and welcome back to the second half of this special half-hour edition of the Newsfeed. I'm CJ Fiala.
And I'm Molly Piffith. In the first half of our newscast, we looked at Virginia Tech stories that are making headlines. And now we turn our attention to news around the New River Valley area. First, we start off with an update on the controversial pipeline project. Over a month after the protest against the Mountain Valley Pipeline in Blacksburg, efforts are still being made in the community to stop the project. About 200 community members and students from Virginia Tech gathered March 21st in downtown Blacksburg to protest the proposed Mountain Valley Pipeline. The pipeline will start in Wetzel County, West Virginia, and finish in Pittsylvania County, Virginia. Environmental Coalition member Millie Smith said the opposition protest resulted in media coverage from local news stations and the Collegiate Times, meeting the rally's goal of getting the word out.
We've got a big fight, and it's going to take a long time, and it might not end in just like one event, but hopefully FERC will listen to the people who have commented, listen to the National Park Service.
Since the protests, organizations continue to fight. Preserve Montgomery County, Virginia held a community action meeting recently at the Blacksburg Presbyterian Church. The Federal Regulatory Commission held a scoping meeting recently to provide input for an upcoming environmental impact statement.
A popular area will be undergoing some changes soon that could affect people who enjoy the outdoors in the New River Valley. Newsfeed reporter Tamara Brown tells us more in this report.
What started here roughly over 200 years ago is now undergoing its last round of changes. A section of the Huckleberry Trail will be closed and a detour in effect beginning May 4, 2015. The Virginia Tech Electric will be installing a duck bank across the trail as a part of the new Southgate Interchange project. The closure and a detour will be located approximately 150 yards northeast of the Route 460 underpass.
That is a large road project that is replacing the intersection of Southgate and Route 460. There is a current traffic signal there, which has a lot of congestion. So VDOT has a project coming, the Southgate Interchange, that will allow, it'll build a new bridge over 460 so that traffic can flow better. It'll be an interchange, so there won't be the traffic light there on 460.
A gravel path will be constructed to detour pedestrian and bicycle traffic around the work zone. The Huckleberry Trail will not be closed for this work. However, there will be fencing installed along the edge of the trail to separate the work zone and the bicycle and pedestrian traffic.
Well, I think anytime you grow a trail and you add on to it, just helps the whole community. More access points that people get onto. It's actually more than just a commuter trail. It's a recreational trail.
Virginia Tech Electric will be doing construction on the trail until May 8, 2015. This is Tamara Brown reporting for the Newsfeed.
For more information on the construction on parts of the Huckleberry Trail, visit huckleberrytrail.org. Other than the Huckleberry Trail, the New River Valley offers a variety of other options for people who enjoy the outdoors, such as different hiking trails. Located off US 460 in Pembroke, Virginia, the Cascades is one of the most popular hiking destinations amongst Virginia Tech students. The Cascades offers a 2-mile scenic trail which includes Big and Little Stony Creek and concludes with a 69-foot waterfall. Since the waterfall signifies a successful hike, you will often see pictures of people swimming beneath the waterfall.
With summer just around the corner, Tech students are preparing to leave Blacksburg behind, but at what cost to the local establishments? Newsfeed reporter Jacob Emmert tells us more on this story.
I'm across the street from Top of the Stairs, or TOTS as it's affectionately known by students and locals. One of the most popular bars when school is in session, it, like every other establishment in downtown Blacksburg, has to look for a way to make up income when 30,000 students go home during the summer. 3 or 4 years ago, summers in Blacksburg were like a desolate wasteland. 30,000 students went home for the summer, and businesses in the college town suffered because of it. In recent years, for a variety of reasons, business has picked up during the town's off months.
I think over the last few years, tech is offering more classes. Maybe people's majors are more demanding, but more and more kids are staying for summer school, and our summers over the last 3 years have gotten better and better and better.
Oldfield said that during the school year with 30,000 students in town, all bars and restaurants are guaranteed to get at least some decent business every day of the week. With most of the students gone in the summer though, Mondays through Thursdays are much slower.
Us in particular, we don't charge cover during the summer, so it brings a lot of people out that were kind of put off, I guess, by our cover charge. We get a lot more of those people in that didn't want to pay cover, so we get a whole new group of people in here during the summer.
So, whether it's by offering unbeatable deals or welcoming different clientele that wouldn't normally come in when school is in session, Tots, Sharky's, and dozens of other downtown bars, restaurants, and establishments are constantly looking for ways to increase the profit during the summer months. For the Newsfeed, I'm Jacob Emmer.
There's more ahead in this special half-hour edition of the Newsfeed. We'll see how a safe teen driving campaign has a unique approach to encourage youth to arrive alive.
And what's the secret behind the success of an old country store after more than 100 years in business? We'll tell you more when the Newsfeed returns after this break.
Welcome back to the special half-hour edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Molly Piffith.
And I'm CJ Fiala. There are mixed reactions to the change coming soon to the new start time of Montgomery County Public School hours.
And school superintendent Brenda Blackbird, who proposed the change, is not going to be around to see it happen. Starting with the next school year in 2016, middle school and high schools will start each school day at 8:50 a.m., while elementary schools will begin at 8 a.m. This brings a different dynamic into play. Busing for elementary school students will begin at 7 a.m. and at 7:40 a.m. for middle school and high school students. This change would cause the younger students in the community to get up earlier and have to wait in the dark at an earlier time than usual, and this has some parents concerned.
I'm not a fan. It's going to impact my ability to get my children back and forth where they need to be. For me, it's going to switch schedules. My elementary child will go earlier, my high schooler will go later. Like many of my friends, I was depending on my older student to take care of my younger student, so this is going to cause some issues.
There is a Facebook page for parents of Montgomery County school students to organize thoughts and comments for an upcoming board meeting to express why or why not they believe this change is the right move. However, the new school times will happen bearing some unprecedented changes by the school board members. But the school superintendent, Brenda Blackburn, will not be in her position when the changes come about. Boyd does not agree with the Blackburn's decision to resign.
I think it was a dirty move. I think she did it on purpose. She made her change and then she says, I'm leaving. So she's not here to have to deal with any of the repercussions, have to figure out how we're going to change it and deal with how it affects the people in her district.
Boyd is among many parents concerned and outraged by the superintendent's resigning after making this big change. For more information, visit mcps.org.
In other news, the third annual Arrive Alive program sponsored by the Youth of Virginia Speak Out has been ongoing for about a month and is coming to an end.
Newsfeed reporter Dwayne Alford joins us to tell us more about the program. Dwayne?
Thanks, Molly. Arrive Alive is a 4-week driving safety education campaign. The program is geared towards high school and middle school students. The campaign focuses on drivers and passengers' safety during warm weather months and events like prom and graduation. The campaign is funded by the Department of Motor Vehicles and Highway Safety. As a part of Arrive Alive, each participating school has the opportunity to win prizes. 63 high schools and middle schools statewide participated in the program this year. For detailed information about the program and participating schools, you can visit yovaso.org. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Dwayne. The Lyric Theater offers its community many treats throughout the school year.
Progeny Film Festival has provided a forum for students and local filmmakers to share their work with each other and the community. The festival allows artists from all over Southwest Virginia a chance to showcase their short films in front of an audience. Films must be 15 minutes or less and in some way be associated with Southwest Virginia. In the past few years, students from the film department have run the festival and have placed an emphasis on student films. But this year, Progeny is getting back to its roots by shifting its focus to not only students, but also independent filmmakers in the area. While the festival is still a relatively small community event, the cinema department hopes that the quality of submissions will continue to increase.
The New River Valley has a store with over 100 years of history and still remains as a cultural welcoming place for the Appalachian community. Newsfeed reporter Molly Pivett tells us more.
In the small town of Floyd, Virginia, lies a store that attracts people from all over the world to come and celebrate its music and heritage. The Floyd Country Store is located in a one-stoplight town in Southwest Virginia. As a combination of a retail store, restaurant, and concert venue, the store has gained popularity for its eclectic grouping of events. Founded in 1906, the store has served as a welcoming spot for the Appalachian community for over a century. Although the weekdays are fairly quiet, starting with the Friday night jamboree, the Floyd Country Store is filled with music on the weekends.
The biggest thing about the country store is we offer a genuine experience, which I think is kind of hard to come by these days. We started out as a feed and seed store, and the guys on Fridays, after the store was closed, they would pull out their instruments and start playing, and people kept knocking on the door wanting to come in here and play, and they finally got tired of getting up and down letting people in, so they just opened the door. And that's how our Friday night jamboree started. It was a natural evolvement, and now it's what we're known for. It's our big claim to fame.
For $5, people can come and listen to various bands while learning how to flatfoot, a traditional Appalachian dance. The Floyd Country Store has its own radio show as well on Saturday nights that has gotten press from popular network National Public Radio.
I really do think it's kind of like one of the hubs of the community, and there aren't a ton of places where people can really gather together. So I think if something were to happen to it, people would fight to keep it going, keep it alive.
The store's owners fill the shelves with products that exemplify simple country living. From candy to clothing to banjos and knives, the country store draws people in with its unique array of products. As long as people keep coming for the popular food and music, the Floyd Country Store will continue its legacy. Reporting from Floyd, Virginia, I'm Molly Pivett, reporting for the Newsfeed.
Starting at 6:30 p.m., visitors can come to the Floyd Country Store's Friday night jamboree for an authentic experience.
That will wrap up this special edition of the Newsfeed. A look at stories making headlines in the New River Valley area and at Virginia Tech.
The Newsfeed will be going on a hiatus for a few months, but we will be returning in September with a new group of reporters and anchors and a new crop of stories to keep you up to date about what's going on with Virginia Tech in the New River Valley area.
While we are on our hiatus, if you have a story idea, send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. Although we'll be away, we will still be connected online. Thanks for joining us. I'm Molly Pivett.
And I'm CJ Fiala. For all of us here at the Newsfeed, we hope you enjoy the rest of the spring and have a wonderful summer.